Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Big Ten champions. Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. He gets loose. Fires. Hit. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, joy to be with them each and every day. And I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Da'Mon Merkerson and friends makes its return to the Country Financial Studio.
Here.
Joey Mack, Da'Mon Merkerson, Senior Associate Athletic Director with us, and a special guest, Christian Rockamore, is here. Okay, now what you don't know is that we have a few traditions that you're going to have to go through with us. Now, before we get there, Oregon softball head coach Melyssa Lombardi will be with us. Also, spring football is right around the corner. Basketball season in full swing. We'll get through all of that. And Da'Mon actually has some fun announcements for you today. Any teases? Do you have any teases?
No, you gotta wait and see.
Okay,
wait and see.
Now, Christian Rockamore joining us because there's a lot of fun connections, and I'm hoping that you cover a lot of this. But first, you have to tell us your 2-minute life story. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Now, you're a competitive guy, right? So if you look through the bright lights over there on the whiteboard, there's actually a leaderboard. Now, I'm sure, again, as a competitive guy, you see names like Jackson Shellstad. You see names like Bo Nix. You know, those are names you can knock off the top 5 leaderboard.
Okay.
The closest that we've ever had is a minute 59.56. So the goal is as close to 2 minutes as possible. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. The 2-minute life story, Christian Rockamore. Go.
So it starts when I was born in Atlanta. My dad works for American Airlines, so we traveled a lot.
Cool.
So we go from Atlanta to Baltimore. Then we go from Baltimore to Virginia. So I spent, this is around I skipped a part, my bad. I was in Memphis before Virginia. So I grew up pre-K through 3rd grade.
Cool.
In Memphis. Then 4th grade, I'm in Virginia for a year. Didn't really like it. And then I moved to Philadelphia. 5th grade, 6th grade, was there for 2 years. And then I moved to Dallas.
Wow.
And from 7th grade to present, went to high school there. I was in Dallas. And then I chose Oregon. So fun story is when I told my parents at dinner one night where I'm going to college that I was going to Oregon, they actually were pretty mad. They were pretty upset. They were like, why are you going all the way to Eugene, Oregon? I mean, they're like, this is probably the stupidest thing you could do. And then I kind of explained why, just because my passion for sports, my passion for helping people, and I just felt like being around all these sports connections and just the Ducks, I would succeed, and it's panned out for me. And so that's why I went to Oregon. But yeah, a lot of times I feel like traveling and moving around a lot has shaped kind of who I am today. And so my 2-minute life story is freshman year, I wanted to walk on for basketball. I was talking to the coaches. It didn't really work out, so they sent me to the women's practice squad. And fun fact, they didn't return any of my calls at first. So I thought it'd be a good idea to just wait outside Matthew Knight every day until I got in the door. So one day I walked in the door, and I'm looking like around. I'm obviously probably look pretty stupid just looking around. And a group of coaches and players who I didn't know at the time were like, or who are you looking for? Like, what are you doing in here? And I'm like, I'm kind of looking for the women's basketball coaches. And they're like, well, you're looking at them right now. So I kind of had to lock in, and they're just like, well, can you play basketball? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, we're going to take your word for it. Like, welcome to the squad.
All right.
And so that's kind of my story. I went in, got tested, did all that, started the next day, and now I'm here. And so, I mean, it's kind of a crazy story. That's how. And then I've been doing it ever since freshman year. I'm a junior now, and it's been a great experience. So pretty happy for that. And now I'm here. So
222.62. That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
A lot of traveling. So, okay,
Yeah.
now this is what happens. I have multiple follow-ups, and I'm
Okay.
sure Da'Mon
Okay,
probably
yeah.
does too. So I'm curious, traveling around that much, when were you first exposed to Oregon, and then why? Go deeper. Why did you say, you know what, I want to move to Eugene, Oregon?
So I feel like I kind of have the same at first generic stories, like seeing the Ducks playing football, but weirdly enough, I never really was interested in them, never really liked them. Like as a kid, I obviously saw the Mariota jerseys like growing up, but I never really was that interested. So my first exposure was probably that, just seeing a bunch of kids wearing the jerseys. But really when I figured out I want to be a sports agent and have a passion for sports is like junior year, sophomore year. So I started researching the best programs, and I just fell in love with what Oregon had to offer.
Cool.
So I just took a limb and went from Dallas all the way to Eugene, and now I'm here.
Cool.
So, yeah.
A lot of frequent flyer miles?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so, okay, as someone then who is a traveler, Da'Mon and I think, are probably in this camp too. Like, we've been on a lot of airplanes, right?
Yeah.
What are your airplane tips and tricks for somebody that has family in the business and has probably been on a lot of airplanes?
So I'm lucky to say that I think there's probably 2 flights that I haven't been asleep on.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can sleep on planes?
I guess it's my superpower. So every single flight I get on, I'm probably knocked out before they even serve the water.
How do you do it? How? Tell me how. I cannot sleep on planes.
Just being tired, I guess. I mean,
God, you see that? He was just like, you're just not tired enough.
I'm tired.
Joe.
Yeah, I'm definitely tired.
Can you sleep on planes?
I used to be able to, and then I had a child.
Yeah, same.
And then it's over.
Yeah.
Okay. There'll be no more sleep.
All right. So part of why we wanted to do this today, Da'Mon asked me, like, hey, women's basketball practice player. I was like, no, we need to dive deep on this. Okay. So I'm curious, with that experience, like, I think there's a lot of fans that probably don't realize that that's part of what happens at practice. In fact, I've had fans ask me when Coach Graves, for example, Chris, has been like, hey, so we were playing against the guys. There's an assumption like, wait, were they scrimmaging against the men's team? Well, no, that's you and your colleagues that are playing against them, right? So tell fans about that.
So I feel like it's a pretty cool experience. Yeah, so I feel like a lot of people don't really understand what that entails. So basically, we help set up, not really help set up, but anything they need. So for rebounding, and then, so for example, we'll kind of get there an hour later. So if it's a 9 a.m. practice, they're probably getting there at 8 a.m. warming up. And then we'll get there around 8:30, and then we're just kind of scout. So if it's a game week, it's like the team they're playing that week, we'll kind of lace up and mock as a player. So if, example, we're going against UCLA, one of us will be Lauren Betts.
Right.
It's like you can only shoot, so last week it was you can only drive left or you can only drive right. So it's really cool to just still be around the game of basketball and just adapting to different play styles and just being whatever. Two of our players are traveling right now with them. Indiana and Purdue, so we get to travel, so I feel like it's really good experience. And then just being at practice is pretty fun. Kelly's great, just giving us good opportunities. We get food, obviously we get gear, like I got this sweatsuit, so it's a pretty good gig, and I'm more than happy to be a part of it.
So one of my I didn't tell Da'Mon this. One of my best friends from college was also on the women's practice team. So he worked a lot with Coach Westhead. He's now working in college basketball. He's an assistant coach, and so I'm curious, like, is that part of what you want to do now?
So actually what I want to do is to be a sports agent, and I work for a sports agency right now.
Okay.
So it's kind of pretty cool to just be a part of a bunch of athletes and just see how they work, and just I feel like my passion is helping my friends, and it kind of goes hand in hand because all my friends are athletes. So just being a part of sports firsthand and just seeing how to best help them has been pretty special for me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Da'Mon, I'm going to turn to you now and tell us a little bit more about, doing a lot of stuff beyond even the practice court, right?
Yeah. Christian is, when we talk about people engaged throughout the department and being in all aspects, this is an epitome of it, right? It doesn't stop at just full-time staff. So he's been helping out tremendously with our Black Student Athlete United group. They had some great programming this past Black History Month, and is still continuing to have program going on. So from our kickbacks, where we talk about maybe just connecting with each other and other events we want to go on, to Soul Food Sunday, where we share a meal with each other, share a meal with other campus folks. He's been pivotal in those planning process as well as being a participant. So.
Soul Food Sunday was another massive success.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Look, we had some good music, some spades going on. I had to teach some people how to play spades. It's it can get aggressive. Spades can be an aggressive game if you don't agree on house rules. These are house rules we have to establish. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Man, you gotta make it clear, man. People like to play weird ways, and I'm just like, listen, these are the house rules.
Right.
So.
Right. There's house rules in basketball too. I mean, we understand. All right,
Yeah.
I want to get a timeout. Come back because I've already got a couple people that have asked questions about the life of a practice player. All right, so we've got some of that coming up, and also I'm serious. Da'Mon has breaking news.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Oh yeah.
But do you have like a breaking news jingle?
Da'Mon and friends.
Oh, that was good.
Da'Mon and friends.
That's good. Well done.
And friends. Yeah.
We're back. We're back. We're back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear Winter, Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear Winter, Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Snakes, zombies, sharks, heights, speaking in public. The list of fears is endless. But while you're clutching your blanket in the dark, wondering if that sound in the hall was actually a footstep, the real danger is in your hand, when you're behind the wheel. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I want you to know. I said I want you to know right now. You've been good to me, baby. Better than I've been to myself.
See, that's what we need to incorporate into your jingle next.
Right? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, man. I'm here for it.
Look, I think you and Otis could just do it together.
You know, I'll do my best.
Christian's laughing. Thank you. I'll do
my best to keep up with him. You know what I mean?
That was great. Da'Mon Merkerson and friends. We're going to talk a little bit of soccer, but also I'll tell you, as we've continued to learn about all that goes into being a student athlete, and I'm going to group you into that, right? Because you're at practice all the time. As Christian Rockamore joins us, we're continuing to talk a little bit with a women's basketball practice player. Like, you're at practice a lot, right?
Yeah. So I build my schedule around it, so I try and be there as much as possible.
See?
So, yeah.
That's pretty sweet. What's your major?
Advertising.
Yeah, good major. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I want to depart, though, quickly from basketball because we do have some updates from Oregon soccer. Da'Mon, in addition to being the Senior Associate Athletic Director for Culture and Engagement, you're also the sport admin for soccer. Just had a promotion within the soccer program to tell some folks about.
Yeah. Coach Chris King, man. Chris King doing his thing. The man is a ball of energy. Anybody that's met him or been around him, he's super positive, does a great job connecting with the athletes. And, you know, in his first year with us, you know, he met all expectations. And right now we have some good incoming athletes this past winter going into spring. So excited to see what he does. And I know, you know, we'll continue to raise the bar.
Yeah, it's the off season, but there's no such thing.
No, it's like less hours, but the grind is the grind.
The grind is the grind for sure. Also, B Oregon. We were just talking during the break, Da'Mon, coming up on the 10-year anniversary of B Oregon next year.
Man, it's amazing. Yeah, coming up in the fall. 10 amazing years of great programming. That initiative started out as a way just to bring awareness, turned into educational workshops, really great events. Women's basketball, men's basketball host some great events. And, look out next year. We're going to be doing some interesting programming to commemorate that.
You want to break news?
Yeah, we got some big things, man. So two major events coming up as a host for the University of Oregon. First is the Black Student Athlete Summit. It's going to be hosted here in Eugene.
Cool.
This event brings over thousands of athletes, black and otherwise, here to do some career development, educational workshops, and then just engaging in the community. So that's going to be really exciting. That's May 20th to the 23rd. And then the real breaking event is the state of Oregon will be hosting the Big Ten Life Series event. This is the first time we'll host anything like this. The Big Ten is looking to operate in all of its newfound footprint. And we're going to be having some educational sessions in Portland, Oregon in July. And, yeah, man, that's going to be an amazing event. We have a lot of different partners, from the art museum to visiting a native reservation. More to come on that, but we're really excited to be, the first in the Big Ten's footprint to host it.
More to come, but I'm curious just to unpack it a little more, Da'Mon. Like, what goes into this event? Why host it? What is it? What does it encompass?
So it's a cultural educational trip, right? So what they've done the last couple of years, they've gone to Selma, Alabama. They've actually visited the University of Iowa to learn about agriculture. Here, this is tagged the Pacific Northwest experience. So, we're going to talk about anywhere from winemaking to the coffee industry, as well as, again, like our native indigenous, in terms of those cultural pieces that really make the Pacific Northwest the Pacific Northwest. So all the attendees from all 18 institutions are going to get a little bit of everything that makes us, the Pacific Northwest.
Cool. You hear that that's coming to this part of the country. I imagine you're thinking, well, I'm glad I picked Oregon once upon a time, right? Like, what sticks out to you about that, Chris?
I think it's pretty cool that it gets to be in Oregon. Obviously, I feel like we have a great setup to have these people, and obviously I'm going to come for it. I feel like me and him have been working on just getting the most engagement possible, getting a lot of athletes there, so I feel like it's a good opportunity because we're at home base to get as many Oregon athletes there as possible and just to have a good turnout.
Cool. All right, I have to ask the age-old question. What's a day in the life look like for you these days? Like when you're going to school, you're working out with the women's basketball team. What's a day in the life?
So a day in the life is, we usually practice at around 8 a.m. So get a text from Melyssa, who's on staff. She's really great with the practice players, really keeps us in check. So it's probably a "Are you up?" text, or "Are you getting ready?" or "Are you warm?" which is always fun to wake up to, and then get in there, go through practice, and then we probably go from 8 to 9:30 or 10:30. And then we get food after, which is a great bonus, feed us, so it's really good. Like, obviously getting food in college. And then usually I'll go home, and then we don't lift with them because they'll usually have lift while we're eating, and then I'll go home, lift, and then I have class from 2 to 3:50. And then depending on the day, I'll either just do some work and then do some work for my agency, or just do some homework and then spend some time with friends and then back at it. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty good. It just keeps me – I like being there as much as possible to just keep me in a routine. And then, just trying to stay involved with the community and just either going to a BSAU event or just going to a basketball game, men's and women's, and trying to go to every single one and just hang out with friends. So, yeah, it's pretty dependent on the day, but just being around everyone. So, yeah.
I know Da'Mon still plays a little basketball.
A little bit.
I know.
Minute, yeah.
But –
yeah.
I've heard the stories. You're winning games.
Last week we won a few. Right. It's aggressive. It's very aggressive.
Do you still play at the Rec?
Yes, I do.
Do you ever give up a court?
No.
Yeah! That's what you like to hear. So I asked that. I had a little bit of inside knowledge, I'll be honest with you, because, again, a good friend of mine when I was in college, they would often go to the Rec, like on an off day, and the entire practice squad would just never vacate a court for like 2 hours at the Rec. And I wondered if that tradition continued and if other students have any idea who they're playing against.
Well, I think that's fun to hear because usually a lot of us split up. So it's like we should do that more. As all go as a group together.
You'll never
that would be pretty fun. But usually it's like one or two of us together, and then we'll kind of play each other. So it's been pretty competitive. So, but we need to try that method and just all,
take over the court.
Maybe I'm gonna get an email from someone at the rec like, "Hey, we gotta work on this," right? Like Christian Rockamore joining us. So I'm curious, like you kind of found your way into it after wanting to walk on, which I know can be a common story for a practice player. But someone listening who maybe didn't realize this was a thing to do, what advice would you give someone for any sport, for that matter?
For any sport, I feel like just being able to adapt. Like I feel like a lot of people might look at it negatively because you're going against women or it's not really the men's squad. But I feel like if you really love the sport and you really want to still be involved, I felt like it was a great opportunity for me. And so when I heard about it, obviously when they didn't respond, I just kind of took it in my own hands and was like, I really want to be a part of it. I feel like I can offer something. So obviously I told the story how I was there, and then I haven't left since I've been there. So my advice would just be, if you want to do something, just really pursue it and really show them your worth, and to just never really give up. I mean, it sounds pretty cliche, but if you really want to do something, you can make it happen. So I feel like.
Lastly, I'm curious, because you're playing the role, right, of other players around the Big Ten Conference and beyond. How much has your maybe love and even knowledge of the game evolved? Because you have to learn everyone else's playbook, right? I mean, I imagine that the way that you look at basketball, has it changed?
The way I've looked at basketball, yeah, it has changed. Just seeing, because obviously going from high school, I mean, it's a lot different. Like really seeing how they prepare for games and looking at other people's play style. And I got access to film for practice. So, and then Lisa will send us like film of other players. So it's just really the preparation is what separates. Just so I feel like my appreciation for the game of basketball has increased. Just seeing how the coaches and players really work together to just prepare for a game. So I feel like it's been pretty cool. And then obviously just like being able to adapt to different play styles, I feel like has been pretty cool. So.
That's cool. That's really cool. What do we miss, Da'Mon? Anything today?
No, we hit everything, man. We're excited. Again, be on the lookout. Anyone that wants to participate in these events, the Black Student Athlete Summit, I will emphasize, is open to everybody and for everyone. And, whether you're a student athlete or a student on campus, we want you to come out. Again, they've had some great speakers. Ryan Clark, Jess Sims, Rich Paul, just to name a few, have headlined this event. And we're going to have some special Oregon theme people there too, so just be on the lookout.
What you like to hear. And when we have Da'Mon on again, there will be a new jingle for Da'Mon Merkerson and friends. Thanks, Da'Mon.
No problem.
I can't reach you, but air bump. I appreciate Christian Rockamore joining us from Oregon women's basketball. Also, Da'Mon Merkerson, Senior Associate AD. Thanks, guys.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Timeout. When we come back, softball at the Jane this week, everybody. Missy Lombardi joins us in the studio after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
When life blindsides you with an injury, you need a team that's tough. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics. Because whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, we're both determined to do what it takes to win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I left my heart in Oregon. Oh, I left my heart in Oregon. Yeah, I left my heart in Oregon.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. It's Tuesday, which means it's Softball Tuesday. Coach Lombardi is here in the Country Financial Studio. Coach, first question, the most important one that I'm going to ask you. Where's your suitcase right now?
My suitcase is put away in my garage. That's where it's
Not
at.
even in the closet, in the garage.
In the garage.
Does it always go in the garage?
Yes, when I'm not traveling, yes, it does.
But when you're traveling week to week, maybe it stays in the closet, goes in the bedroom. How does it work?
It's in my laundry room.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, it's nice to be at home. We're going to review that, preview that, as well as Oregon softball opens up the home season at the Jane this weekend. Remember, GoDucks.com, always check the schedule. There's been some adjustments. We'll talk through it. The Ducks will be playing the middle games coming up on Friday. More on that in a moment. But first, chronological order. Let's go back a bit. You played a tough schedule, Coach. We talked about that all season long heading into this. Zoom out for us. What's that tough schedule done for your team to this point?
Just to me, it's put them in challenging moments, adverse moments, exciting, celebratory moments. Like they've gotten a little bit of everything, and that's, to me, what I think is required for this group. It's for them to be challenged right out of the gates, and how are we going to handle it? And you can see in moments we handled it okay, and you can see in other moments we handled it great. But it's like, regardless, you don't know unless you play the schedule that we're playing, and that is the most important thing. You know, we are not going to win a World Series today. We're going to win a World Series in June, but what we do today is what's going to push us to be prepared to do that.
When you put this in context for fans, if I could, it's the 10th toughest schedule among power conference teams, with all kinds of NCAA tournament teams on it. So have you felt like every weekend kind of feels like a regional? Like has that come to fruition for your squad?
Yeah, it definitely does. You know, you come out of the gates and you have game 1, and then you look at game 5, and it's all the same. And what I love about that is what it does is I think it just starts to create normalcy for us. I don't even know if that's a word or not. But it just creates, like, that's the new norm, is that we are going to play a tough game every single time, and that's what we need to do.
It's so true, though. Like, you think about building routine and habit, you know, and isn't it more beneficial to do that against a really good opponent, right? Like, there's something to be said for that, isn't there?
I think it is. I think it's just, you really get to see what we have. You get to see the type of fight we have, the type of grit. What does our discipline look like from the first weekend to the last? You know, how are you attacking the opponent? You know, I think it just puts you in a position to just flat out compete every single time you step out on the field, and that's what we want to do.
Well, so talking about Thursday, if we could go back, like I'm curious just the response from your team, Coach. You don't get the result you want against Auburn. Then you play the number 11 team in the country in Texas A&M. You end up winning 2-1 in a really good softball game. What was the rebound like for your squad just on Thursday?
It was great. Because that's what's going to happen. You're not going to get what you want in one game, and then do you let that come into the next, or do you leave it there, reset, and go compete the next? So I do. I love how these guys answer. You know, sometimes we're not getting exactly what we want, but we are answering, and that's the most important thing that we can do.
Talking too about South Carolina, you got to win over the number 13 team in the country. A lot of SEC opponents on the schedule, part of the scheduling up. And then I want to fast forward to the Duke game, because I feel like, Coach, there's a lot to take away from that one matchup. Another top 20 team in Duke, number 20 to be exact. You win 11-8, but it takes some gritty moments to do it. Can you just take us through that game and what you saw from your squad?
Yeah, gritty. You know, we knew we were going to need everybody. You're on your final day. And with that, anytime you're in your final day, I think you always need everybody, but on your final day, you need everybody. And you could see our pitching staff pass the ball. You could see us defensively make different adjustments, offensively as well. And from there, it's just, I look at the Duke game and I look what we accomplished. And to me, I look at the games prior to it, the wins and the losses, and what that did for us as a team going into that game. You know, in the 7th inning, we were down to 2 outs, 2 strikes twice.
Right.
And these guys said, no way.
Be a tough out.
Yeah.
be a tough out. Yeah, I feel like that has kind of been an identity point of your lineup, hasn't it? A lot of tough outs throughout your starting 9 every game.
I think we do. I think we have so many people that can do a lot of different things, and we don't have to just constantly depend on a couple. And I think that's important. The depth that is required for this schedule and required for what we want to do this entire year is really important.
And you're going to have ups and downs, right? I mean, that's hitting sometimes, isn't it? Like, it's nice to have the depth and some different options, I'd imagine, as a coach.
It is. It is. Like this weekend, it was just great to see different people step up that hadn't earlier in the season.
Right. To that point, Taryn Ho, I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, this is cool. So, made the most of a first start, right? So, a 4.17 average. Also laying down 3 sacrifice bunts, which I think can maybe get overlooked, Coach. Like, you talk about the situational awareness. That was pretty cool to see from Taryn.
Yeah, I loved how she just came in and competed and got her job done, and we called upon her on different things, and she just took care of her business. Bunting is not the easiest thing to do, especially when the ball is moving up, down, in and out. And just to see her come in as a freshman, just really cool, calm, collective, and do her job and do it really well. I was really pleased with her.
Is bunting one of the more underrated skills in your game?
It's that's something that we do a lot in softball.
Yeah.
But there's just I think it's just having the ability to bunt good pitches and not bunt pitches out of the zone is really important.
I just always think about it in both baseball and softball. Like, you don't realize how much you need a good bunt until you really need a good bunt. That takes a lot of skill and practice and time in the batting cage, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Situational hitting has always been something that we just really thrive in and know is really important to us. So I appreciate the situational hitting and her being able to do that and is with the rest of our team.
Talking about some critical plays throughout and some critical players as we continue with Coach Lombardi. How about Elon Butler, Coach? Has come in certainly with some high expectation, but hit 471 this past weekend, hit a critical long ball, knocked in 3 runs. What have you seen from Elon? What can she do for you the rest of the way?
What I love is Elon is doing Elon. She is, you could see when she's at the plate, the opponent does not want to deal with her at all. And so she's getting limited pitches in each at bat. She doesn't get a whole lot of good pitches to see, but when she does, I think she does a great job of being aggressive. I love the leadership that she's providing offensively. She's got really good things to say when we talk about our game plans. I love how she presents to the team, and then also just leading and how she plays. So I think just each weekend you're going to see her just continue to rise in what she's doing.
I'm curious too, talk about the growth of your team against some really good pitching here early in the season. Like, I think it can often get overlooked, right? Sometimes you see the best pitching late in the year, but now you're seeing it right away. How beneficial is that? What can that do for your offense?
I think it's super beneficial. Like, I mean, we've seen it all. In 3 weeks, we pretty much have seen it all. We've seen the velo. We've seen the great movement. We've seen the great change of speed. The command. We've seen it all. Yeah. And that's why we're doing what we're doing.
One of the big consistent pieces for you has been Kaylin Jones. She hit 353 this past weekend. Has hit 350 or better in each tournament. How big is that consistency for K-Dub?
It's huge. What we want her to do is to get on. Can she, constantly be on base when she's coming up? Does she have the ability to drive runners in? And just loved in that Duke game, she's been doing a great job with her power slap and her soft slap, and then to come up and hit a double off the wall was exactly what we need from her, is for her to be a triple threat.
And certainly has been that. Amari Harper, leading the team in home runs now, hit her 3rd and 4th this weekend. That power's been critical, I think.
It has. And I think for her, you're seeing her settle. I think you got to remember this is her first year with us.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's going to take a little bit to settle, and I just think every weekend you see her settle in a little bit more. But I think we're going to continue to see the power production from her. She's another one. I think she's been doing a great job with leadership. What I love, we are playing her all over the field, so you could see how versatile she is, and just she's a competitor.
I don't think that very many teams will be running against Emma Cox anymore. Fair?
Fair.
That's pretty amazing what she's done. What can that do for your team defensively when you have that sort of arm behind the plate?
It takes runs off the board, because her one, I think the opponent has a runner at first, and they would normally send the runner, and now they're questioning whether they should or not, because it could be an out, right? So then they don't send the runner, and now are relying on the offense. You have a runner at second or really at any base, and I want to have a good aggressive lead because if the ball's hit through the infield, it's automatic that you're going to score.
Right.
Emma, I think, totally prevents that. You don't want to get off very far because you don't want to get picked, and I think she's done a great job of getting us out of really tight innings with her picks, even with the double play ball the other day, the play to the plate, and then she got the runner at third, just like by a couple steps where I think that runner would normally be safe. So just what her picks and just her arm and her all the time that she got last year as a freshman, the experience that she has as a sophomore, it's just she's been doing some really good things on defense for us.
Yeah, boy, what an advantage it is. And also, I'd imagine an opposing coach now spending a little extra time on that scouting report, just with that knowledge, knowing what Emma Cox can do. One example, I feel like over her career of being just the ultimate team player has been Bracy Rosa. I'm curious, just going 4 of 9, played some right field for your team. Talk about depth. She's an example of it.
She is, again, another versatile athlete. Excellent behind the plate, can also play in the outfield, has a big bat, and she does not get cheated. She takes her hacks, and I appreciate that about her. She really goes after it. She takes her hacks and can hit the ball, has good power.
Right. We've talked a lot about the offense. I do want to go back to the pitching staff a little bit. Just the whole staff. You needed them over this weekend. Need them in the Duke game in particular, right? But to focus in on Lindsey Grind, just to give people some numbers on how impressive this was. 2-0 against 2 ranked SEC teams. Gave up just 1 run in each of them. Versus the SEC this season, here's Lindsey Grind's stat line. 3-1 with a 1.17 ERA, 4 runs, only 8 hits allowed, 29 strikeouts in 24 2/3 innings pitched. Big game pitcher?
I think any game pitcher.
Love it. Love it. Starting with her and then your whole staff, just what have you seen now as you get ready for a home weekend?
I just like her leadership on the mound. Again, she's a competitor. She's really understanding what she wants to do. And I really like that a lot. You could just see she understands, a hitter comes up and it's not like you're pitch to pitch. You're a couple pitches ahead. You're always like 2 to 3 pitches thinking about how you want to start, how you want to set it up, and how do you want to finish it. And you can really see that with her on the mound this year. She just knows exactly what she wants to do, how she wants to go about it. And I just love how decisive she is with that. And then from there, just getting the job done.
Coach Lombardi and Oregon softball getting ready for the Oregon Classic. Starts on Friday. Samford and Stetson are the first game at Jane Sanders Stadium. Then the Ducks will play Stetson right around 12:30. Idaho State then against Oregon at 3:30 on Friday. Samford and Idaho State will also play Friday evening. Full schedule, GoDucks.com. Idaho State, Stetson, Samford. Picked to finish at near or the top, I should say, of their respective conferences. Nice to be back at the Jane, isn't it?
Cannot wait. I think of the last time I was at the Jane, last season what we were doing, and this is our favorite place to play, to be able to play in front of our fans and in the best stadium in the country.
It was a little tense last time, but then it turned to a full celebration at the Jane last time you were there, right?
You know what? Last time these guys didn't even think twice. Like, we're down. I'm in the dugout. They're down, and they're just like, Coach, we're going to win. We're going to win. I'm like, well, can we just put some runs on the board right now?
Could you lower my blood pressure,
Could you?
please?
And they're like, Coach, we got this. Like everybody else could have been tense. They were pretty calm.
Gosh. You're bringing me right back to just feeling my heart pump, during that. Just some keys to success for your team. We talked about the excitement of being back at the Jane. I should also mention, we got the ticket update as of the start of our interview. On Friday, there's 20 reserved plus some GA in the Bob. On Saturday, there's less than 10 reserved tickets left. The point I'm making, if you want to head to the Jane and see some sunny softball, by the way, at a 60-degree forecast on Friday, for example. And then on Sunday, there's only 30 reserve seats left. So get your tickets. Anyway, keys to the game, Coach. Keys to the weekend.
I think these guys just continuing to be aggressive and attacking in all areas.
All right. Coach, it's great to see you. Great to have you back at the Jane.
Yes.
I'm glad that the suitcase is in the garage.
It's in the garage.
Yeah. Thanks, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to get a timeout. We're going to come back. Spring football is right around the corner, if you can believe it. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Well, while we're still in the midst of winter sports, I was about to say spring sports too, but we are, as Oregon softball gets ready for some home games, Oregon baseball hitting the road for a tournament after an 8-0 start. Spring football is going to be here before we know it. As we check in with the Chief of Staff of Oregon football from our National Signing Day special, we've continued to air these interviews as, well, honestly, they were really good. Marshall Malco, the Chief of Staff, sitting down with myself and Jerry Allen. Today is really the second iteration of signing day in the modern world of college football, but still some new additions to the class coming in today, hence why we spend a lot of time celebrating the class today. Events, auction going on GoDucks.com to support Oregon football. So set the scene for us. How does a day like today come to fruition for Oregon football?
Yeah. What I would say is it's more of a celebration, and we haven't had much time to celebrate, right? Like,
well, yeah, you're sitting here with us.
Well, no, this is a celebration. This is great. Yeah, we're going up to Portland today, and obviously that's going to be an awesome event. I'm super excited to get over that way. Really, you're going from August 1 to now, and the most exciting part of this is tomorrow is vacation. And
I love that.
Yeah, I feel like
I love it.
I feel like we've finally, built the roster. And the great thing about this year and what NCAA, in my opinion, has gotten right is there's no second portal window.
Right.
So our roster is our roster. And, I feel really strongly about what we've done over the last couple weeks, months, year, to make sure that we have a roster that can compete at the highest level. So I think it's a little bit of a celebration of what, the last couple of weeks, months, year have been. And I also think, we had 2 junior days the past 2 weeks, and we've had 30 juniors each weekend. So we're already starting on the 2027 class. And, really this is when that starts. And then we've had official visits in between. We got back from Atlanta at 5:30 a.m. We had a staff meeting at 7:30 a.m. And then we had 10 10 official visits that had flown in the night before, and we took them to breakfast at 9 a.m. So, like, it's been a lot of hard work, and the coach's job is to think about the roster at hand and to think about this year's team. My job is to always think about next year's team.
Right.
And so right now I'm thinking about 2027s. I kind of forget about don't forget about them, love them, see them here in the weight room getting better and see them there getting better. But I'm on to 2027. You know, our coaches got the team now, and it's our job to develop them and all those things. But we're already on to 2027.
It's an ever-evolving process. I mean, you're on to 27 right now,
Yeah.
but because things change almost month to month on a football team, injuries, guys leave, guys come, how far in advance do you have to be aware of what might happen? Start looking at what we might have to look for. Who are we going to recruit next? What guys are we going to need? How far in advance? Just 1 year?
Yeah, I would say it used to be 2 years, and I feel like now it's become back because of the portal and because of all these things. You're looking at like more a year in advance than it used to be. Like to me, a couple years back before the portal and before all those things, you worried about 2028. Now it's like you can really dial in and focus on 2027. So yeah, probably a year in advance is what. And you know about the 2028s that are coming up, and our recruiting department does for sure.
You know, and to that point, like, you're always talking about a day like today where you're focused on the freshmen that come in and you want the highest quality. And we talked about it in December that you feel like you got a lot of quality in this class. But then you do have to fill gaps, and the transfer portal allows you to do that. How do you strategize that, Marshall? Like, just the best way to fill out a roster?
Well, and we always want to, like, our foundation's always going to be high school recruiting. And I feel like Coach Lanning's built up, like when he first got here, no offense to Coach Lanning, but not a lot of people knew who he was. Not a lot of people knew what type of head coach he would be. And now the proof's in the pudding. Everyone knows who Coach Lanning is. Everyone knows how good of a coach he is. Everyone knows how good of a developer he is and the type of program he runs. And so what I would say is, we are able to go toe-to-toe with anybody in high school recruiting. You know, we had to supplement with the portal way more in the past than we do now. And, you know, Oregon is fighting for the top kids in the country. And if we have a gap, then, yeah, we'll fill it with the portal. But we really want to sign the best high school kids in the country. And so, yeah, our foundation is always going to be high school recruiting, but we'll never not try and take a great portal kid. So we use both of them to our advantage. I mean, player acquisition is the second most important. Player retention is number one. And, you know, we've never lost a player to the portal that's a starter for us. And we take a ton of pride in that. You'll hear that from all of our coaches. But we take a ton of pride in it because they love being here. And there's two currencies in college football right now. Once you hit your junior year, you want to make some money and you want to play. And, you know, sometimes you lose kids to the portal because they don't have one or the other.
Right.
And so we experienced that a little bit this year. But one thing I would say is, you know, we retained a great roster.
Yeah, sure did.
We're really excited about the guys we have coming back.
When you're recruiting, you're selling Oregon. It's a process. You're trying to convince somebody why they should come. What does Oregon offer? What is it about Oregon? I'm looking at new facility out there, but there's a lot more to selling Oregon. What are you selling?
Yeah. I mean, I think it takes really two things to be great, and you have to have both of them. And there are very few programs across college football that have both. But I think, number one, it takes a great place, and that's what we have, and it takes a really committed place. And our place is committed, as you guys know.
Yeah.
Autzen Stadium on Saturdays, the whole nine, like $500 million facility that we're getting ready to build. It takes a committed place, but then it takes a great head coach. And in my opinion, we have both. And there are very few programs across college football that have an A-plus head coach and an A-plus program that they're committed to. And, this program would be successful no matter what, but would it be this successful? And in my opinion, it wouldn't be. And would Coach Lanning be successful if he wasn't at Oregon? Yeah, he would be, but not this successful. And in my opinion, it takes two things to have a great program, and we have both of them. And we have a top 5 head coach and a top 5 program. Like, no one can argue that.
A lot of factors that go into success, and I think one of them, you talk about player retention. Well, how about the staff and the consistency, right? I mean, we're about to talk with Drew Maringer, Chris Hampton, Duck offensive, Duck defensive coordinator, Coach Lanning coming up. And to that point, like, you had some staff changeover. It's going to happen when you're successful in college football, right? Everybody wants a taste of what Oregon's doing. How do you and how does the whole staff maintain that success when you do have some staff turnover, guys that go to get their head coaching opportunities, for example?
Yeah, I mean, we've had it in the past, and the show's gone on, and what I would say is we lost Kenny Dillingham our first year, and then the next year we had the #1 offense in the country.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
Yeah. And so what I would say is this, is like Coach Lanning really believes in both the guys that he's hired, and he knows that they're best in the country, and he knows they're ready for the position. And, I feel like they're uniquely prepared for this opportunity, more so than anybody else in the country. Like, Coach Lanning knows that he can have the best offensive coordinator in the country if he wanted it. Like, this is the best place in the country to be an offensive or defensive coordinator. I mean, it's shown throughout time that if you come here and you're a great coordinator, you will be a head coach and you will be successful. And so what I would say is this opportunity, Coach Lanning doesn't take it for granted, and he knows how good the two people that are getting ready to fill those shoes are. And so the belief that he has and I have, not that it matters what I have, but like the belief that Coach Lanning has and the two guys we're getting ready to hire is immense, because he knows that they're so prepared for this opportunity. So like there's no, I mean, the confidence is sky high.
We've already seen what they can do, because their offenses, defenses, which they were key elements, are among the best in the nation already.
Right. And I'll say I sit next to Coach Maringer in the box, and the amount of calls that he says, and the coolest part is whenever I'm sitting in the box with Coach Maringer, and whether it's Coach Maringer or Coach Stein has a play call, and every time that Coach Maringer says, "Oh, we got a play here," I know we're going to rip off 20 yards every time. And he's sitting in the box, and he'll say, "Oh, we got a play here." I'm like, yes, because I don't even know what the play call is. But anytime he says we have a play here, I know we're getting 20 yards. That's minimum.
Great. That's great. Well, we're going to talk with Coach Maringer in a moment. I want to leave you with this, Marshall. Just on a day like today, we mentioned that it's a celebration. To bring that point full circle, celebrate the class for fans. Just give us some general thoughts as it came together. What do you like? What sticks out about this class now?
Yeah. I think it's like, I know Chris Paul had this quote about stacking days,
right.
And for us, like it's stacking great players on great players, and we have, I think it's 23 players that have enrolled early that are not portal kids. So what I would say is getting another great class that is just high character is one of the things that we're looking for now more than ever. I know that NIL, portal, all those things, we talked about it last week, but one thing that I would say is character matters more now than ever. Like, totally. We're recruiting kids, and it's NIL. Like, there's some NIL factors, and so money makes you more who you are. And so what I would say is that we've recruited a bunch of great kids, and they're going to be better kids because they're at Oregon.
Boy, that's a heck of a statement from Marshall Malco, the Oregon football chief of staff, as we talk a little football, getting you ready for spring football that is on the horizon. When we come back, a dominant Duck performance on the golf course. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working at our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
Back to the Country Financial Studios in 60 seconds. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. It's really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families. And one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here with you in the Country Financial Studio. Hey, Kiara Romero's a darn good golfer. She just captured the 2026 Chevron Collegiate Individual Championship for her 5th career victory. That's the most in Oregon women's golf history. The Ducks placed second as a team. She shot 66, 70, and 69 on the course. The individual champion, Kiara Romero, the #1 ranked amateur golfer in the world, and she's competing here at the University of Oregon. Really impressive what she has continued to do. We get to end today on a happy birthday note. Happy birthday, Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil always sitting on the desk. It's the Shoe Ducks' birthday. The bobblehead with the Matt Knight Arena shirt, it's one of my favorites on the desk. A happy birthday to Uncle Phil. Tomorrow on the show, we've got Jess Drummond, we've got Dana Altman, we've also got Katie Fiso talking a lot of basketball with 2 basketball games tomorrow. That's on the horizon. We'll talk to you then. See ya.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma